I want to bring in former U.S. Ambassador to Mexico, Earl Anthony Wayne, 2011 to 2015, and Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist, host of the No BS News Hour, Charlie LeDuff. A lot of time at the border, knows what's going on. Thank you both, gentlemen. Mr. Ambassador, the point of going down there, what do you think the president succeeded in going down there?
Well, I think he hadn't gone there before, so just being there was an important sign. And this was accompanied by his announcements last week that he wants to move to a new system for trying to create legal pathways, just as you mentioned, for people to come from a number of these countries that are big source countries, and to stop the large flows of people coming in an irregular manner across the border and being set back. And he did this in coordination with Mexico. Mexico is going to receive a lot of these people sent back across the border. And so I think it was a good stop on his way down to Mexico City, where he's going to meet with Mexico's president. He already has, and the Prime Minister of Canada tomorrow, and they're going to have a summit. So I think this is a step forward. A lot more to do, as you outlined in your comments, to really make progress on this migration issue, but it's a good start. And the stop at the border was also symbolic because you have this terrible fentanyl problem of illegal drugs being smuggled northward across that border. And then you have the big positives of the trade growth that's been going on. A lot of trade is moving across that Mexican border and the border with Canada.
Okay. Charlie, do you see it that way?
I guess, well, it's theater, but what does it accomplish, Ambassador? I'm up here in Detroit. The trade we see going down is the good jobs, the factory jobs, the electric vehicle jobs. What's coming up here is cheap labor, and you know for sure, because you're close to these people, part of the reason for letting the labor in is to suppress wages in the United States because of the inflationary pressure on wages. So if you import cheap labor, you lower the wages for what's left in America, and then pretty soon, what do we have? People here competing for less money, and the good old-fashioned Detroit jobs over there. Explain that one to us up here, please.
Respond, Mr. Ambassador.
Okay, I'm happy to do that. Yes, well, the facts show that, in fact, trade with both Mexico and Canada have created more high-level, high-paying jobs in the United States. It is true that some jobs have moved to Mexico, but there's actually been a larger net creation of high-value jobs in the U.S. But what we're talking about right now is for all three countries to be able to move into these future technologies, jobs of the future, not the jobs of the past. And so one big part of the agenda down there is to talk about investing in our workforce, investing in these new technologies and these new industries that are going to help all three countries compete better with China. Unless we work together, unless we invest in the United States and work with our neighbors, we're not going to be as competitive against China as we could be and against other places in the world that are great manufacturing powers. This is all
Mr. Ambassador,
part of
I understand your
globalization.
I understand your argument, Mr. Ambassador, but I have to say, it seems that the practical doesn't meet the theoretical, whether the early iteration, what became NAFTA, and now, obviously, the new arrangement that they're seeking. You probably are aware that the trade deficit right now with Mexico is higher than ever. It's at nearly $120 billion, and it's always a future promise of, yeah, but that's going to balance out. And look, we get it, that you make deals, some work out well, some more don't. But why does it have to be an either or? Why does it have to be, well, it's good that he went down there because it's going to help us with jobs, when the real problem that is irking the American people, substantiated or not, is security? Why can't Democrats provide both? Be strong on giving you the personnel down there and the processing abilities you need and the rule changes you need to stem the flow, and make avenues to have people fill the jobs. Why not do both?
You're exactly right. We do have to do both, and we have to be smarter about how we do it. That means we really have to understand what products are being made, what services are being made. You know, 40% of a car put together in Mexico is from the United States. We send those parts down there, they get put together, they come back. That is cheaper for the American consumer maybe $1,000, maybe $1,500 for that car when it comes back up. Now, it does create, there are jobs created in the United States. All the design of that new technology, all the creation of that high tech is taking place in the U.S.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.